So, talking about ISO 27001, so this is a basic framework for information security. How this information security will work. This is a basic. And what is the beauty of this standard? Any kind of information security requirement we can inbuilt and adopt inside this framework. So ISO 27001 is the globally accepted basic information security framework, which is more and more talking about management requirement, then interested parties. Management requirement means what is the basic requirement for a company to safeguard the information, maybe based on the business deals, based on the business contracts. So we will discuss that one. So the agenda will be how this ISO 27001 is going to help the company, and how the ISO 27001 will help the person for their certification and career building in information security sector. Okay. So everybody knows that the ISO 27001 is the international standard for information security system. So these are the basic knowledge. Everybody knows that. Then again, so we have some questions, correct? How this information security will be safeguarded inside the company? What is the role? For example, maybe you are using your access card. By using your access card, somebody can use your access card to enter in any kind of I think classified area. They can steal the documents, anything. So how we are going to stop this through this ISO 27001 physical security controls? Then copy paste by a developer. This is the $1 billion question. How we can safeguard about the copy paste, correct? Because the technology is improving. Similar to that, the technology is improving. The same time, the threat is also improving. Everybody knows that most of the companies are working from home right now. But according to my knowledge, any company, they can't able to provide 100% of security inside the internet or the computer security. 100% is not possible. That is, I am saying from my experience, because each and every time the technology is improving, so risk is also improving. The new threats will come. For example, I will tell you one example. Right now, everybody is working from home. We have a lot of security measurements or controls in the company on the laptop, but obviously there is a loopholes also. For example, anybody can, working from home, they can shoot the video or any kind of documents they are opening inside the laptop, and they can shoot the video separately from their mobile phone and they can send it, correct? So these are the controls we can regulate it via giving proper training and awareness for the employees. So this ISO 27001 is talking about more and more about the basic. We need to build the security from the basic, correct? So these are the questions. So why we need to share my password sharing? That's a bigger problem. So this password sharing, we can't able to stop it 100%, because it should come from each and every individual, correct? So they need to think about it. Okay, we are just like a professional, so we just no need to share the password. But again, another one question will come. So we are as human being, correct? How many password I can handle it same time? So that's the reason most of the employees and everybody will give same one common password for each and every for example, Gmail password will be same. Then their all other bookmyshow password will be same. Everything will be the same. But the problem is, if your password is breached, then all your system will be breached, correct? So that is another one thing. So second controls. Yep. So ISO 27001 is the basic information security standard framework, which is completely working for the interested parties. Interested parties means company management, employees, some companies is the shareholders, business partners, contractors, and another one is regulators. If we are talking about the regulator means, in European Union, you know that, correct? GDPR is a requirement. That is a rule-based requirement is there in Europe. That is, these types of requirements are comes around regulators or compliance requirement from the government side. So these are the basic interested parties who, based on their requirement, we need to implement an information security system inside the company. Correct. So the process. So all the process will be same: plan, do, check, act. So we have a management requirement. That means interested party requirement is there. For example, I need to safeguard a customer information inside my Blade server. That is a basic requirement. So based on that requirement, we need to plan it. We need to implement the ISO controls and information security controls. After implementation, we need to review the implementation controls and monitor their controls, then maintain it. That is, maintenance comes around act. This cycle minimum required minimum 3 to 4 months for the minimum implementation for the information security controls effectively inside a company. It should come from the each and every different department. For example, physical security department, delivery department, sales department, operation department. So all the department should give the proper support for the implementation. They need to come up with their each and every controls and how we need to implement it effectively. So this is the plan, do, check, act, similar to any kind of information security activity. This is common. Then come to process. So process means first we need to start defining process and policy document for the company. Based on the company requirements, based on the company registration requirements, then based on the company customer requirement, each and every policies and process will be defined, and that process will be approved by the board or the management. Then we will start implementing that process inside the company. For example, in password management policy, there is a company have decided that they have a separate password management policy. So we need to define what is the exact password management policy. The last 5 passwords we cannot able to reuse it. The password length, strength, everything will be decided or defined inside the policy. For example, after file unsuccessful login, the user ID should be disabled for the next 30 minutes, then enable it without any kind of multi-factor authentication. These are the basic things may be defined based on the company requirement inside the policy. That policy we will try to implement it. For implementation means we need to communicate that policy with the IT team and implement that policy controls in any kind of identity and access management system or any kind of directory services. Most of the company will use Active Directory as a domain controller and directory services. We need to implement these rules over there. Otherwise, some company they have identity and access management tools. In that tools, we need to define this user password policies. It will be defined. So there is that these are comes around the technical thing. Okay. So I need to discuss about the current version of ISO 27001 is 2013 version. Okay. This is the latest updated version currently present in across the globe. Before that, the ISO 27001 2005 was the standard. So what are the difference? Mostly the difference between ISO 27001 is scoping is same, normative reference is same, ISMS, then in the management responsibilities, internal ISMS audits, leadership, ISMS improvement. So previously it was lot of controls segregated in ISO 27001 2005 standard, but here in ISO 27001 2013, so all the controls are segregated and defined in a specified way. For example, scoping, policy, risk assessment, document control, everything is mapped with exactly. For example, context of the organization, it also comes about scoping. Then leadership, talking about the responsibility of the management, the planning, that is the policy-based planning, then SOA, statement of applicability, everything will be here. So the basic change I will explain you later. So this is the mapping from 2005 to 2013 standard. Yeah, scoping. The first part for ISO 27001 implementation is scoping. Scope means, okay, based on the company nature and based on the company requirement. So implementer should define the information security scope, and that scope will be audited based on the certification body, and you will get the ISO 27001 certification. Okay. So another second part, after scoping, we need to do the risk assessment. Some company will say this as a risk assessment. Some company will talk about this is a gap assessment. Risk assessment means, okay, each and every person, you know that what is the meaning of risk. Okay, so each and every risk may be, it will be a threat, it will be a vulnerability, it will be a likelihood threat, and the impact will be high. So we need to analyze the threat and we need to classify the risk. Then what we need to do, we need to evaluate the risk. Based on the risk evaluation, we need to give the risk treatment. Risk treatment with the risk treatment plan. Okay, maybe I can explain you with a different version. For example, okay, yeah, sharing password with the colleagues. So one thread for each and every company. For example, if I am working with a own company, maybe my user ID and password I can able to share with my colleagues for any kind of using or development or something. Yeah, obviously this is a threat that we found it. Then we need to evaluate what are the opportunity to impact my user ID and password is going to share with anybody. What will be the impact? If I have any kind of access for the any kind of sensitive data, then the impact will be high. If I do not have any kind of access to the sensitive data or classified data, my impacts will be less. So based on that, we need to have a plan. For in this control, the password sharing with the colleagues, we need to make a plan for the company wise, the corporate wise plan. So we can give the awareness and training to reduce the impact. For example, to awareness the employees do not share the password. But again, after the risk treatment is okay. We can put a lot of controls, including the MFA, multi-factor authentication. If anybody want to log in with any system, their official mobile number will be attached with any kind of MFA system. They will get the OTP or they will get the PIN number in the mobile as a message. Then they need to enter it. These are the additional controls we can implement for the password security and identity and access management. But again, another question will come: what we can do if that particular person shared this PIN number also, correct? So they can share it. But these are the additional controls we are using to reduce the impact of the threat. So we done a threat analysis, threat evaluation, then risk treatment plan also by giving proper training and additional controls implemented. This is known as the risk treatment. But after the risk treatment also, we cannot able to close that risk 100%. We can't say that, okay, this password sharing issue is solved 100%. Nobody is going to share it. They can't do that. Nothing. We can't say like that. This type of risk, after the risk treatment, the risk is there, but the probability and the percentage of impact will be very less. This type of risk is known as the residual risk. Okay, this risk mostly most of the management will review that residual risk and they will accept it because we can't able to do anything on that. Correct. So this is the entire risk treatment life cycle. Actually, this is a bigger area, and this is a core area for information security implementation. So how much effectively we can flag or we can adopt each and every risk from inside the company, that will be very good for the company. But very important thing, any outsider can't able to do any kind of risk impact risk analysis effectively. That will be very minimal. Only the internal team can analyze and make a proper risk registry based on their practice, requirements, client requirements, everything. Because if somebody work in a system, they know the system and they know the process and they know the customer requirement very effectively, other than any kind of consultant or anything from the outside. So always we can utilize the internal team to analyze the risk. For example, think about it. You are working with the different companies, correct? You have day-to-day wise work. You know that what are the risks and what are the vulnerabilities they have in your work you have. Because you're working for more than a year, maybe. Sometimes you're working more than 5 years in that company. You know that better than me. So every time we need to think, we need to remember that if we are going to implement any kind of controls for risk assessment, we need to get the proper support from the internal team. Otherwise, it will be a little bit difficult to map each and every risk. Okay. So coming to integration part.
Rahul, before you move on, can I ask you a quick question?
Yep, sure, please.
You said about the importance of the IT team engaging in the process for it to work. A lot of businesses, I feel, are still doing this as a tick box exercise. Have you, I think you told me the other day you'd done between 50 and 70 of these assessments. Have you ever found it difficult to get the leadership team to engage in the process?
Obviously, Simon, that is important part, correct? Because you think about it, as a human being, there is a human nature that, okay, if somebody is going to come and audit, everybody will start defending their side, correct? Think about it. If tomorrow anybody is coming to audit Simon, Simon will what? Simon will think. Simon will try to defend your each and every activity, correct?
I'm already feeling defensive.
No, man. No, that's a human nature. So we will try to defend our side. So we need to make understanding the audit is that, okay, this is not any kind of fault finding exercise. This is a combined responsibility for each and every employee inside the company to maintain the information security. Then only the company will run. If the company run, then only we will get the salary. That is a thing. We need to make sure the ice breaking will take some time, Simon. I assure you that. Because one company, I joined in that company, I worked that company nearly more than 7 years. That time, I take nearly 4 years to ice breaking with the ITT.
Takes a long time, doesn't it?
Defensive. They will think, okay, who are you? You came here today, and what you are going to analyze my network. I know my network better than you, so no need to preach me. That is a mindset.
Absolutely.
Every company, some issues will come with the compliance team and the delivery team and the IT team. Always there is a gap, will be communication gap will be there. But what to do? This is what's the problem means how much effectively the management giving importance for the compliance and information security.
Yeah,
that is because rather than we are communicating with the employees, the management should communicate with the employees. Some management think that, okay, I'm getting the business, I don't need to care about the information security, I'm ready to accept the risk, do whatever you want it.
But they won't listen, their employees won't listen to us. They need it to come from the management as well.
Yeah,
sorry, Rahul, I'm conscious that the whole presentation away. I better let you get back on with your presentation now.
Sure, I'll do that. So I think I am not making you boring. Okay, so coming to integration part. The integration part, the basic beauty for the ISO 27001 standard means this ISO 27001 standard framework will suit from any company to any company. For example, if we are going to talk about the company, have only one person in place, this framework will suit. This framework will suit the company. More than 1 billion customers or employees are logging in the same system. That system also we can able to implement inside this framework. That is a beauty for ISO 27001. It is talking about the basic things, integration with the company, business, and nature. For example, This ISO 27000 will be feasible for any kind of transporting companies or IT companies, schools, colleges, then hospitals, any type of company. This framework will suit it. Correct. So that is a beauty because many companies are adopting ISO 27001. I think from the last 2 years, especially India, I think we are doing in many companies, and UK, I think a lot of companies are certified. And right now, it is current the best practice for US also. Many companies are getting certified for ISO 27001 and NIST control, then SOC 2. They are doing it. But the basic beauty for the ISO 27001, this is the basic framework. If the framework is implemented in any company, any other compliance certification or attestation will be very easy for them, because 50% of each and every compliance controls are going to fulfill in ISO 27000. We need to take care of the other 50% also. For example, PCI DSS or SOC 2. If we have basic framework, then easy to implement the PCI DSS controls. Okay. So integration is done. Then talking about roles and responsibilities. Yeah. This standard is more and more talking about the roles and responsibilities for the information security management system. So this standard saying that, okay, we need to create an information security manual. That manual should define what is the role of a particular designation person inside the company. For example, CISO, Chief Information Security Officer, what is his roles and responsibilities? Then talking about the information security team, what is the roles and responsibility? Then HR head, what is the roles and responsibility? Then physical security supervisor, what is the roles and responsibility? IT head, what is the roles and responsibility? Security operation center team, SOC team, red team or blue team, what is the responsibility? Everything will be defined and documented inside the information security manual. Then in that manual, we're talking about risk corner. For example, each and every department and each and every responsibility person, they have their own risk. That risk will be mapped with each and every person. For example, any kind of physical security controls will be mapped with the physical security team or physical security supervisor. Any kind of HR related controls will be mapped with the HR head or HR team. For example, HR controls will be talking about background verification or education qualification, address verification, identity verification, because the bigger threat inside in 2021 is the identity theft, correct? So, for example, most of the companies are doing interview in virtually right now. So I found some issues because mostly all the companies, what they will do, they will record the video for the interview session and everything. They will record the video. Some of the issues we found it while reviewing the audit. Somebody will dub for in the interview session also. For example, somebody in front of the camera, he will do only the lip movement. The interview answers will be coming from the other part of the end of the room. It will happen. So this is known as the identity theft. Correct. For example, so these controls should come from the HR department, and that risk corner should be from the HR department also. For example, they will conduct multiple level interview session right now. Most of the company, 3 level, 4 level, some company have more than 7 levels of interview. And what they will do, if they have the first level of questions, set of questions, they will ask in the 7th level of interview also, they will ask the same questions in a different pattern. And they will analyze it, okay, how this person is responding it, how this body language is, how this eye contacts are. So each and every company, they have their own methodology. So we need to find the risk and the risk ownership. That ownership we need to give to the different department. Example, IT, and example, HR department, example, physical security, we need to give it. Okay. This standard has strict requirement for the roles and responsibilities. Okay. So ISO 27001 standard I shared with Simon. I think he will share with you. Then ISO 27001 other requirement. Other requirement means, okay, if I am implementing ISO 27001 from in-house, because think about it, I am working in an XYZ company. In that company, I am a lead implementer from that company itself. I am implement the controls. But as an internal auditor, I can't able to audit my department. So we need to do the cross-department audit only. For example, if anybody is working in HR department, he can audit to physical security department. The physical security department team can audit to any kind of delivery department. They can audit. But we need to think of only one thing. In ISO 27001 standard, the financial audit is not part of this standard. For example, company business, company revenue, financial audits are not covered here. That is not in the scope. Only the information security. Finance team is covered, but the business document and the financial revenue of the company, financial transaction of the company, these are the very classified details. So these are not comes under ISO 27001. But ISO 27001 controls will ensure that only the respective people have access to, authorized people have access to any kind of financial data. From the finance team and the top management team only have the access to financial data. That controls we will ensure it here. But any consultant or any kind of implementer internally or externally, they will never try to I think get this any kind of financial type of data. Okay, yeah. This is ISO 27001. So we have 14 categories and 114 control. Previously, we have more control. Right now, in the 2013 version, we have only 114 controls and 14 categories. All the control requirements are comes under 14 category. I will tell about information security policies. This is class number 5. These controls will talk about how the company want to create an information security policy in the company. Based on that, they need to create a procedures for each and everything, SOW for each and everything. So it should be the basic requirement. Then 6 is talking about the organization information security. It is talking about internal and external party, why this company required the organization level information security, and what is the process flow, everything. Then 7 is talking about human resource security, the training, awareness, background verification, identity verification, education qualification, continual improvement, and monitoring, any kind of people management, everything is handling through this human resource security. Then coming to asset management. Asset management means if any company have an asset, that asset is also part of a company asset. We need to give the proper control for the asset management. Each and every asset should be classified. It should be having tag. Each and every asset have an asset serial number. We need to have a tracking mechanism for the asset. For example, if anybody is using laptop or mobiles, we need to have a MDM in place, mobile device management in place. And MDM, we need to make any kind of geographical fencing, we need to face it. For example, if a company is working in UK, and by installing any kind of MDM, mobile device management tool inside that application, in that device, and we can make a I think geofencing. Only that device, it will work only inside the UK territory. If that device crossed UK territory, I think admin will get the alert. We can see, I think, lock the device. There is a lot of options available. So these are comes around the asset management. Then access control. Access control is talking about, I think, IT access control. The major tool using for the IT access control is Active Directory, most of the companies. And some other company, they will use high-level identity and access management tool known as Okta, and similar to other directory services, they will use it. And coming to cryptography, how these encryption methodologies are using inside the company. Everybody knows that, correct? Windows is having inbuilt encryption tool inside each and every Windows system. Think about it. But many companies will never enable that BitLocker and encryption. Your personal device also, you can enable it, BitLocker, but the only one problem, you need to remember that key. Without that key, you can't able to, if any problem happen for the hard disk, you can able to retrieve the data. So It will talk about the company's cryptographic methodology, how this symmetric key is using or asymmetric key is using, or what is any kind of shard type of any kind of encryption methodology we are using it. So it will define in the cryptography section. And coming to 11, physical environment security. For example, it is talking about how this physical security, perimeter security is managing for the company. For example, if they have any kind of automatic access enabled doors, for example, biometric access or card access, and is there any kind of CCTV available for each and every in and out? Do we have any kind of perimeter scanning mechanism, or do we have any kind of separate sprinkler system inside there? Do we have any kind of fire and safety system out there? Fire alarm, heat detectors, smoke detectors. So these are the things comes around the physical and environmental security. Coming to environmental security means if any kind of the company is situated in any kind of flood affected area, the company should have any kind of water sensor each and every part of the building. So water sensor will be activated always, and it should be monitored. The company should have any kind of building management system, BMS, separate room enabled, building management system should be enabled. All the security controls will be centralized. Then only they can able to control automatically. So these are the controls for the physical and environmental security. Then coming to operation security. Operation security means day-to-day work of the business nature of the company. What is the requirement? For example, think about it. The company is doing any kind of transportation services. So these operation services and security related to their business nature, it should be defined by the company. That should be defined. Then communication security. What is the communication medium each and every company using right now? That is email. But email security, how we are can able to provide it? So email is a bigger area. Think about it. So each and every, I think, company emails, we can able to set allies sometimes. We can able to forward the copy of that email to personal mail IDs. These are the things we need to think about it first. And first priority goes for any kind of email should be scanned, any kind of spam or any kind of malwares attached in that email. And right now, the problem is most of the company is using Auth365, and Auth365 is linking with all the system, including Windows from that device also. But the security we need to implement properly, otherwise it will make a bigger issue. Because artificial intelligence is part of Auth365 right now, correct? Because each and every inbox system will check it immediately. So we need to give the proper system for the communication security system, including email and any other communication methodology using in that company comes around this communication security part. And system acquisition and development. System acquisition and development means we adopted any kind of framework for ISO 27001 that is known as a system. That system is implemented and how we are going to maintain it. For example, we have a firewall. Yes, we implemented a firewall. We have a firewall with the failover. Failover means, okay, we have two firewall. It will connect it with the high availability known as HA availability. If one firewall is down and another one firewall will start immediately, that is known as the high availability. We need to test that, and we need to maintain the firewall with all the firmware will be upgraded on the latest version, and we need to test how this is working, if the load balancing is working or not, and what is the firewall utilization. If the utilization is 100% or something, we need to monitor it. There is a lot of monitor tools available. We need to use that. One of the monitor tool I am using mostly of the company is the PRTG. The PRTG services for 100 consoles, which is free. You can also use with any other company for your company also. Then 15 is talking about the supplier relationship. If your company is having any kind of third-party vendor, so how we will analyze the vendor? So what are the basic agreement we need to recur with the vendor? And if the vendor employee is coming and working from inside our company, what are the control mechanism? These are the controls talking about the supplier relationship. Then security incident management. Everybody will talk about the incident, and we just know if any kind of real incident happen inside the company, what we need to do. So we need to track each and every possible incident. We need to define it, what are the possible incident, and we need to have a proper incident management system placed in that company. proper reporting mechanism, then we can analyze any kind of incident, what happened, what is the root cause analysis. That is known as a root cause analysis. Why this incident happened? What is the problem? So how it is happened and where it is impact. So these are the things comes around incident management. Then BC management, business continuity management. Another one important requirement for the ISO 27001 is that business continuity. Business continuity is okay. If anything happen, any incident can happen, my system and my network and my company will run with smoothly without any kind of problem. Think about it. So most of the company right now using the cloud services. If any cloud services are down from UK, and we can use the cloud services from US. If US also, there is we can specify different locations, different states, and a geographical location we can select it. So this is one example for the business continuity. For example, the classic example for the business continuity is COVID-19 work from home business continuity practice also, because most of the IT company, their works are not being stopped. They can work from home. Any kind of system they can access through the VPN connectivity, and extra controls will be added. And everybody can go for any kind of virtual meeting as a normal production hours. They can work it without any kind of problems. But think about it: if this COVID issues happened in 1995, so there was nothing in place. There is no mobile application. There is no video conferencing. Nothing was there. Most popular. So right now the business continuity term is very improved, and most of the companies are giving more importance for business continuity. But according to my experience, this COVID-19 business continuity is the biggest, longest business continuity for any company in the history of information security, because more than nearly 2 years, most of the companies are running with the business continuity only, correct? So it's doing good. So many companies, they have plan for the business continuity, they can survive it. For example, VPN tunnel access, everything. Otherwise, their IT team want to run it to create a VPN activity and VPN tunnel activity. That's at the COVID peak time, that was a bigger problem, correct? Then the last part is the compliance part. Compliance part is talking about any kind of MSA requirements we need to fulfill inside the company. Any kind of contractual or legal requirements we need to create inside the company. So as part of the ISO 27001 implementation, we need to create a separate documentation available for legal requirement. What are the legal requirement is required, that we need to map it and we need to monitor that. For example, previously any kind of European Union company, they need to comply with the GDPR Act. In India, we have I think Labor Act. So different countries, okay, they have their own priority rules and regulations will be there. So we need to create a separate rule book or document only for the legal requirement. We need to monitor it and we need to measure it, how much we are compliant. So if there is any kind of issues, okay, we should have an opportunity for the whistleblowing, and we need to maintain it properly. That is comes around the compliance part.